Greetings and welcome to your Oracle message for the day. I am Kat Morgan and I welcome you to this video, to this channel, and to this space. This is a collective reading and it is timeless, so whenever you come across this video, however and whenever you find it, it's the right time for you to be getting this message, and I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for being here. The only reason why I'm here is because you're here. So if you find value in this video or in this channel and you haven't already liked and or subscribed, I invite you to do so. I don't make any money from these videos. This will never be a monetized channel, as you guys who have been here more than once have heard me say repeatedly. That for new folks that have never been here before, please feel welcome in this space. If you feel like leaving comments, please do that. Whatever you do, do it because it's the right thing for you to do. Bottom line. So we have been going through Kyle Gray's Gateway of Light Activation Oracle deck, and today's card is the Venusian Galactic Council, representing star being guides, answering the call, and it's time to shine. So no more hiding your light under a bush, right? Right? Like the old saying, the little song that we may have learned in Sunday school way back when. We're not hiding our light anymore. Now we are walking in our integrity. We are walking in our honesty, or we are walking in our authentic selves. So this is a amazing card. I'm excited for the reading for today. I want to talk a little bit about Venus. We know that Venus is one of the planets. It's actually the second planet from the sun. It is the closest in size and mass to the Earth, and at one time it's postulated, theorized, that it may have had a similar atmosphere and climate and topography to the Earth, and then something happened. And now it is the hottest planet. It's even hotter than Mercury, even though it's not as close as Mercury is to the sun. It is the hottest planet in our solar system, and that has the most densest atmosphere of all of the planets that are rocky, like Earth, Mercury, Mars, Venus, not the gas giants, okay? The atmosphere is composed mainly of carbon dioxide with a thick global sulfuric acid cloud cover. Doesn't that sound lovely? Doesn't that sound like where you want to spend a romantic weekend? Venus has been equated with Venus, the goddess of love, of fertility, of abundance. So this is a card of abundance, as well as representing the Venusian Galactic Council specifically. And I do want to touch a little bit on them as well. But 5 interesting facts about Venus, the planet itself. A day on Venus is longer than a year. Doesn't have a very fast spin, I guess. Venus is hotter than Mercury. It spins clockwise on its axis. It's the second brightest natural object in the sky after the moon. So even more noticeable than Mars. It is most notably seen early in the morning or late in the evening. And it has 90 times the atmospheric pressure of Earth. So if it didn't cook us when we arrived, it would have smashed us. So we'll be cooked and smashed if we visit Venus without some protection, as it is currently. Why is Venus called the morning star? Why is it? Well, I mean, we know because it shows up in the morning, or we see it very clearly in the morning, but there are periods of time where it disappears below the horizon and we don't see it for 3 days and 3 nights. So it's very strongly equated also with Christ consciousness, with Jesus's resurrection, and the idea of being resurrected, of being reborn, of being I'm trying to think of the right way to say it. Remade. You're a new being. It's like the sun rising every morning. So really, really beautiful, amazing, surprising energy from our planet Venus. The Venusian Galactic Council specifically. I didn't have a lot of information on this before I pulled this card, and I always like to get a little bit of information background on stuff that we are looking at, because the more information we have, the more information can be given to us, the better we are able to understand what it is that we're receiving, these downloads that we're getting. It makes more sense. We're able to integrate it more fully into our personal walks on a day by day, moment by moment basis, which is what we're supposed to be doing. That's the whole point of this lifetime in particular, is to be stepping into our authenticity, to be stepping into our integrity, being honest with who we are. If we're an introvert, we don't try to pretend we're an extrovert. We are kind and loving and polite and respectful in group settings, but we don't find those to be the thing that makes us most comfortable. No worries. Don't try to pretend to be something you're not, because there are more people that are doing the same thing. They're also trying to pretend to be somebody they're not, so that they can fit in, because they think that's what other people are expecting. So we're all doing the same thing. And those of us that have been expanding our consciousness, ascending, getting out of this 3D physical reality in our heads and connecting more with that 4D, 5D love outside of space and time, where we create on a now basis, where we are manifesting on a now basis. So we always want to be our most authentic selves. What is the Venusian Council? Couple of things online. The Venusians are some of the most widely reported extraterrestrial human groups in recent times. They're a coven of teachers that are reminding us of the blueprint of Venus and how they feel on Venus. They emphasize the importance of remembering the frequency of Venus, where love conquers and brings alignment with the highest self in the highest timeline. Whatever your personal belief system is, one way or another, with extraterrestrial entities, we know on a fundamentally scientifically quantum mechanics, quantum theory, quantum physics level, that everything is energy, that we are all vibrating, everything is vibrating at different frequencies. And I have no doubt that there are beings that we cannot see with our eyeballs, but we can sense them with our energetic signature. We can feel ourselves responding to and communicating with other kinds of energy. We can walk into a room or a space and feel it is light and loving and positive, or we can walk into a space and not feel that. And I have no doubt that that there are entities, there are planets that have evolved similar to Earth, maybe not exactly, but with entities that have consciousness, that have purpose, that have direction, that have reached out to us in one way or form or fashion or another. Okay, Venusian Galactic Council is representing love in whatever aspect you identify it with. All right, this can represent angels. This can represent higher self being, connecting with the other higher self beings. The Venusian Galactic Council represents star being guides, entities that have been on this journey, this manifestation, this evolution for longer than we have personally, and have more experience in this present moment. Again, remembering that there is no such thing as time. That's a human construct, that everything is now. So we have the same amount of experience as these other beings that may have evolved millions of years before us in other parts of the universe or the galaxy or the solar system. I'm not going to be, looking at those kinds of things and determining the truth or non-truth of any of that stuff. The Venusian Galactic Council is representing love energy coming through, with star being guides that are translating more of that love energy to us directly and asking us to answer that call, to be walking more in love, to be walking more in our integrity, coming from that place of love and letting that love shine through us in our lives personally so that everybody else can see it and feel comfortable to do the same thing. So let's take a look in the book. I haven't looked at this, so you and I are going to be going through this for the first time right now. There'll be 3 sections in this reading. The first is a general bit of information about the card itself. The second part is how to connect with the card personally. And then the third card will be a final message for you. And this is the final card of this deck. It's not the final card that we'll be reading, but it is kind of the end of the journey in terms of this oracle deck specifically. So keeping all of that in mind, Venusian Galactic Council. The Venusians are advanced cosmic beings similar to angels who come from the planet Venus. They are our starry ancestors and are dedicated to helping us experience and embody divine love. There are millions of them, and many of us will have them working with us as guides. If you feel drawn to this information or strongly connect to the stars or star people, there's a good chance that there are many extraterrestrial beings around you at this time, many of whom will be connected to the Venusian Galactic Council. Governed by Lady Venus and Sanat Kumara, the Venusian Galactic Council is a divine board of directors who are responsible for recruiting light workers and leaders on Earth who have been or have the potential to make a huge difference by following the call of their soul. When they come to us, it's an honor and an opportunity to be reminded of a connection that was active before we came into this incarnation. There's no set way of working with the Venusians, but they will contact us in dreams or meditation to share information that will support us on our journey. They often send spiritual downloads in thought forms or understandings. Dreams about flying or being in space are other ways in which they come through to us. Connecting with this card. On a bright, starry night, say, Venusian Council, Venusian Galactic Council, thank you for helping me answer the call of my soul. Your message. This is a call to action. You are being asked to step up and create the changes you want to see in the world. You have a reason for being here, and you have the potential to inspire, support, and heal your corner of the world. Don't let this information scare you or overwhelm you, for you are being prepared energetically to step into this role. The ideas you have been recently receiving are divine downloads, but you aren't being called to make dramatic changes in your life. Simply to move forward step by step. The Venusian Galactic Council will reveal more information to support you. Be aware of downloads of information and spiritual signs, for they are confirmations that you are on the right path. Well, yes, absolutely. We will take that. So yes, this is a call to action. You are being asked to step up and create the changes you want to see in the world. We have heard that phrase. We have heard that thought from wise teachers, wise counselors throughout history, throughout the millennium. So this is your time to step up and make the change that you want to see in the world. And we're not talking about globally, although that is part of it and part of this instruction and part of this invitation. But when we're talking about make the change you want to see in the world, we're talking about your world specifically. So for example, I would like to see more less trash, more order, less chaos in my personal environment around where I live. And when I am stepping out of my apartment, I can come out with a mindset of two different things. I can come out with a mindset of looking for examples of why things are not the way I want them to be. Or I can be looking for examples of the way things are that I would love them to be. So I would love to walk out of my apartment and not be greeted by trash on the ground. So I'm not looking for trash. I'm looking for smelling clean smells, smelling people doing their laundry, hearing vacuums. Okay. I don't want to take my preconceived ideas of how life should be lived, for example, and stick that on other people. But in general, I would like to see less crime in my neighborhood, less trash in my neighborhood, more courtesy in my neighborhood, drivers that are following the signs of the road, not going through red stop signs or stop lights, you know, that kind of thing. So I'm kind of a law and order person. I like things being done the way that they were meant to be done. But that's a personal thing for me. That's my personal take, my personal filter that I am experiencing my personal world through. But I am being invited to bring more love, to bring more respect, to bring more order, to bring more cleanliness, to bring more beauty into my environment by having that mindset when I walk out my door, when I look around my apartment, when I go to the store, when I go wherever I am going, wherever I am. I want to be the change I want to see, so I want to step out in love. If I want to see more love coming to me, I want to step out in respect. If I want to see more respect coming to me, I want to be living more in a place of law and order. So don't take my exceptions personally that I think I'm inclined, I think I have a right. Maybe I don't, you know, stop for a stop sign if there's no traffic for me personally, because I think that it's okay for me to do. It's not okay for anybody else to do it, but it's okay for me to do. That would not be in alignment with my values. That would not be how I would change my world. And we have to remember everything is quantumly entangled. So if you're making a change in your personal space, it is affecting the rest of the planet. If you want to see more love, be more love. Come more from love. Ask from any specific situation, whatever it is, how can I bring more love into this? How can I bring more love as I walk out my apartment door? How can I bring more love as I'm walking through an intersection with a light or a stop signal, stop sign, and there's cars there or other, you know, traffic, bicycles, other pedestrians? How do I treat them so that I bring more love, so I bring more light, so I bring more peace into my world? Because as soon as I start doing that, as soon as I start having that as my target, it expands. We have an absolute ripple effect. Absolute. We know we are quantumly entangled. So there is no inconsequential thing that you do. And the Venusian Galactic Council is inviting you, urging you, encouraging you to answer this call, to shine your light. So that's our reading for the day. Really powerful. I knew that, you know, obviously going into it, but this is your time to shine. This is your time to answer the call. We are all being answered to call, every single one of us, whether you're listening to this video now, somebody that has never heard of this video, that has never heard of this channel, that doesn't even actually watch YouTube. Somehow somebody is going to be affected by what you do that has nothing to do with this video specifically. It has everything to do with what you are doing in your life personally. So you are being invited and encouraged to shine your authentic self light so that others can see how it's done and they can do the same thing. And this is how we change the world, by healing ourselves one person at a time. I love you. Have the most amazing, fantastic day. Namaste and ciao for now.